Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Form of Therapy. My name is Joe PD, and today we're going to be checking out Rebel Heart by IVE. This is their latest single. I'm going to assume pre-release single because their album is not dropping till February, and so I have high expectations because IVE, when it comes to their pre-release singles, especially leading up to an album, often are just as good as the title track. They're really good, I would say, in fact. And so I have kind of high expectations for Rebel Heart. With that in mind, let's go. Without further ado, let's go. Okay.
Rebels in our hearts. 시작은 항상 다 이룬 것처럼 엔딩은 마치 승리한 것처럼 겁내지 않고 마음을 쏟을래.
Visually already incredibly gorgeous.
이제 더 이상 신경 쓰지 않아 어디에서도 내 마음을 지키기 Only by then 자유에 맡겨둘래 나에게 될 거니까 So you can love me, hate me. You
Whoa.
will never be, never be, never be me. Try me, I'll break free. You will never be, never be, never be me. We are rebels in our hearts, rebels in our
Oh,
rebels in our hearts.
that's an explosive drop. That is an explosive drop, and the music video does a freaking phenomenal job building that up too. Wow.
너는 어디가 조금 부족해 너는 거기가 뭔가 좀 넘쳐 I don't care 모든 말은 참 쉽지 그래 실행이 어려운 거야 Do it, move it, do it 우린 그냥 할게 내 갈 길은 멀고 그 위에는 드라마가 있어 저 외로움이 너무 길어지는다면 그 맘을 쏘아 올려
Whoa.
Love me, hate me. You will never be, never be, never be me. Try me, I'll break free. You will never be, never be, never be me. We are rebels in our heart, rebels in our heart. We are rebels in our heart. We are rebels in our heart. 꺾이지 않아. We are rebels in our heart, rebels in our heart. Rebels in our heart, rebels in our heart. Rebels in our heart, rebels in our heart. 우린 서로 이유를 묻지 않고 서로가 필요할 때가 있어. 그런 마음이 어떤 건지 잘 알기에 영원을 바라는 사이보단 지금 날 이해해주고 싶어. We will always be the rebels. Join us who you are. We are rebels. We are one. 이름만으로 We are rebels. We are one. We are rebels in our heart. Rebels in our heart. We are rebels in our heart. We are rebels in our heart. 꺾이지 않아. We are rebels in our heart.
Wow. Wow. They let us breathe in like the last second of that. Wow. Okay. Rebel Heart. What an epic song. What an epic pre-release. And I love this music video. I think of many of their music videos, it's definitely one of my favorites. One of. I can't quite place where it would rank, but I am definitely someone who leans more towards the gritty visual cinematography that IVE has, as opposed to their much more mainstream, high def, glossy, glamorous commercial look. I think that's definitely something they do with their pre-releases, whether it's Either Way or Off the Record or not even pre-releases, but like follow-up releases, things that aren't like the main title track. So actually, I don't know. They might be changing that going forward with Hey Ya. But like things like I Am, or After Like 11, like their main title tracks have always had a much more classic K-pop, shiny HD look. I mean, even the term HD is outdated, but like just like that high def look where it's super shiny, super glossy. But then their pre-releases, especially the songs that go for a little bit more emotion, they go for a beautiful, gritty, almost a movie-like cinematic visual aesthetic. This might be changing. I'm really looking forward to now what their main title track music videos aesthetic is going to be like. Like I Am is a good example of that looks like the more mainstream K-pop music video look. But Heya, I would say, was actually a healthy middle ground. It was actually a bit of both. It had the look of a classic K-pop music video, but also incorporated really beautiful, gorgeous cinematic elements as well. But if you watch Ascendio, that was like a really gritty cinematic visual, which was also really interesting for the kind of song that Ascendio is, and for the visual storyline that they had with like the evil versions of themselves and them fighting and stuff. They could have totally gone the classic bright, colorful K-pop route with it, but they didn't. So I'm looking forward to the main title for that reason. But Rebel Heart totally capitalizes on pulling on all your heartstrings because that's what the song does. The song is this big, powerful, emotional, anthemic song that speaks to, it was only one listen, but based on catching the lyrics, it seems to be speaking on the rebel in our hearts, the defiant attitudes that we all have of not giving in to other people's opinions of us, not giving in to either other people's prejudices, and living our lives choosing and protecting our own happiness wherever we go. And that is sort of the crux and the core of IVE's concept universally since their debut, which is self-love and self-expression. And this is a group where, as big as they gets just as much hate, you know? Largely, I would say they get more love than hate, but any popular group tends to get criticism, rumors, whatever it is, critique, hypercriticism, especially if you're a girl group. And so I love Rebel Heart. I love any of their songs that really speak to that really speak to saying, fuck the haters, fuck what they say. And Rebel Heart does that in spades. It has all the emotional value of something like Either Way, while having like the big, powerful, epic sounds of I Am. It's like combining the much more loud, anthemic, pop-driven style of I Am and taking the much more emotional style of Either Way and putting them together. Rebel Heart is so, so good. And the music video does everything in its power to make sure that it capitalizes on all those emotions. So we're going to watch this music video again, and we're going to talk about some of my favorite bits because I think K-pop, with K-pop, marketing is everything. And I think with IVE, if you were to ask me, name a K-pop group that has perfect marketing, that has everything firing on all the right cylinders, and I think it's IVE. I think IVE, like when it comes to marketing, kills everything. And so Rebel Heart only leans into it a bit more. So let's check it out. Whew.
Rebels in our hearts. 시작은 항상 다 이룬 것처럼 엔딩은 마치 승리한.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the actual choreo for Rebel Heart. They never actually do group choreo, and the other members aren't necessarily dancing in the video. It is mainly Yujin that does it, and she starts off the video that does it. I think that's, whether this is choreo or not, or she's freestyling, or it's choreo designed just for the music video. Either way, for the visual element of the video, I think that was very smart to do. I think what makes Rebel Heart really powerful is the explosion of emotions, right? And I think Yujin literally captures that through her dancing. She's adding a kinetic element to the music video because if you look at many aspects of the video, a lot of the members are either kind of walking or standing still. There's some movement in like Kar, like when she's graffitiing like the pool area, but none of that really, I think, captures the same kind of rhythm like that you're hearing with the bass underlying than Yujin's dancing. So starting off and opening the video that way, I think it really gives the video a lot of energy. So that's great. As well as just the visual camera style. I mean, they lean really heavy in on the anamorphic look, something that I've mentioned in many K-pop music videos. It's definitely more common nowadays than it's ever been. You're going to notice throughout the video, there's just a curvature. You're going to notice like this warp, whether it's in the corners of the video or even in like the straight parallel lines. You're going to notice this warping, and that's mainly the anamorphic look. And that is what gives it like this film squeeze that makes it look more cinematic. That's what anamorphic means. Just looks like old film school style technology. But it has become way more prevalent in the digital age to replicate that look, as there are more digital anamorphic lenses now.
다 이룬 것처럼 엔딩은 마치 승리한 것처럼 겁내지 않고 마음을 쏟을래 내 모양대로 이제 더 이상 신경 쓰지 않아 어디에서도 내 마음을 지키기 Only by
The shots are also just as much adding to the kinetic energy of the song. It's really playing on the rhythm well. So that means it's really well directed. I think Ray's scene is very indicative of like the amount of mileage she gets in like she is like somewhere up high and then goes down an escalator, is on the train platform and is in the train. Some music videos, that'll be like the whole story of like a character. Like that'll take up half the music video just because it's filling and padding time. But within like 2-3 seconds, they go through all of that. And that just adds a lot of energy to the video, a lot of movement. Literally shooting Iso's part handheld. That's such an interesting shot too. Leave all the misunderstandings up to you as Iso is not at school, right? Showing her ditching, as it were. And the way it shines the spotlight during her lyrics of I'll leave the misunderstandings up to you because they'll find out eventually is just a very, I think, interesting and pivotal moment to have this scene happen. So that was really cool. And one of the coolest parts coming up, Wonyoung. I mean, this is already like Wonyoung in the bridal dress aesthetic is obviously very glamorous as it is already. But the reveal immediately, they don't even let you sit with this visual. Like, again, most other K-pop videos, and that is speaking in terms of like, I guess you could say budget. Like, I'm sure IVE has a bigger budget, but this is also just good directing in general. Like, they would save this like big explosive fire scene for like the finale, for the bridge, whatever. That's because the bridge is oftentimes in a song where you really want to shift the emotional tone of the song. And so you want to visually shift everything. I mean, IVE throws that all out within less than the first minute of this music video. We're at 39 seconds when we cut to this burning playground shot. That's incredible. My gosh.
Will never be, never be, never be me. Try me, I'll break free. You will never be, never be, never be me. We are rebels in a heart.
That and the you will never be, never be me. The way the song is mixed.
You will never be, never be.
The riser, the build up, cutting out everything else except only Yujin's vocals, which already creates like a really haunting, empty, hollow mix in your ears. But then what you see is quite literally a slew of people that aren't her, but also represents just quote unquote, I guess, stereotypical ideas of what a rebel is, right? There's all these different people. People, especially visually, that go against, I would say, typical Korean cultural norms. But that moment building up to the first drop, I think the first drop is the most important drop. Every drop is important, but I think the first one is the most important. And whoever directed this nailed it. That was such a powerful moment. It's like, I think you can sell people on a song with a music video on the first chorus and how well you present a drop. And for me, I bought the aesthetic of Rebel Heart right there during that just empty Eugene never be me moment. I was just like, oh, okay, this is aces. Incredible. Did they shoot Ray's sections in Japan? I don't know. The streets look a little bit more like Japan. That's crazy. Ah, yes. And the second pre-chorus transition is different. Instead of going for the same thing, Wonyoung kind of like gently leans in, and then they just bring in this stomping, which, by the way, can we just talk about the percussion real quick? That stomping is so powerful. My God. That is also one of the most impactful elements of the song that really drives in those emotions home. Just, oh, amazing. This music video in particular, especially just the anamorphic aesthetic, but also their acting and the framing of these shots. Like the first group shot that you get is them here at like this amusement park merry-go-round. Like that shot of Wonyoung walking away and looking back. And even that shot right there. This is like shots you'll see it reminds me of their Kitsch music video. Like it's like a very fashion editorial lookbook sort of vibe. This chorus is interesting too. This bridge is interesting too. It has a very youthful vibe. And I think especially the idea of what a rebel is, we often equate it to teenagers in their youth being rebellious. And I'm so glad that they never incorporated the words young, wild, and free, which I think is one of the most overused lyrics in a lot of songs. They kind of just portray that through the sound instead of just saying young, wild, and free. Like you can hear it, you can feel it, and they're portraying it through, you see them, and they portray it through these extra dancers, or actors, dancers. I don't know if they actually are dancers or just actors, but them dancing together, running. And sometimes we just need each other, and then hard cut to her being hugged. Big, explosive, and this especially sounds a lot like I Am, very reminiscent of I Am. But yeah, great buildup of panning to the shot in the sky. Oh, even the shot on Ray when they do this is very, very, very well done. The amount of shots that they cut in and toss in really visually ramp up the kind of rising feeling that you have in this moment. I'm going to guess that it sounds like Liz. But it makes this explosion so much more satisfying. And then all the members just acting their asses off. Incredible. Wow. Wow. Wait. Let me see that. Oof. On the drum. Oh. Let me see. Wait. Let me listen to that one more time. So right now in the song right here, it's just like all like vocal stuff, like stretching their voice out. We are rebels, we are one. And there's this look of resilience in Esau. And then oh, that's also interesting. You hear that like what would you call this? This descending percussion line. Da, 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 da. It's like really fast, and throwing in the roller coaster shot, it plays on that soundbite really well. Oh, that's really satisfying. That's just like really satisfying shot choice during editing. That's really great. But then we're about to get into the chanting. We are rebels. So we had like this beautiful vocal buildup, and then chanting. And the way they lead that in is this big drum percussive hit, and the timing of the gloves punching together just make that so perfect. Let me cut a little earlier. Whoa! Oh, what great editing! Oh my god! And then once again, the angelic shot right for the end, but they bring back the effect that they did at the first drop now for the outro, where we cut out everything else. We focus solely on Eugen's vocals. Also, now they add like this voice box filter onto it, so it feels like it's more distant, so it feels a bit more emotional. Wow! Guys, this is a single. This is a pre-release. I'm telling you, no one does it like IVE. Just even more hype. And it's going to be so epic leading up to IVE's Empathy EP. I'm so excited. But in the meantime, Rebel Heart, great track, great music video, great everything all around. They are produced so well. I love it. I love it. Oh, just in love with it. Guys, thank you for joining me for this reaction. When the album releases, because I know that it's coming out early February, I'm going to try to do a listening party for Empathy same month. So you can tune into my Patreon for that. Links in the description below. But in the meantime, you can subscribe. I'm going to have a button for you right here. So stay tuned when IVE's album drops. I'm going to react to whatever title track music video there is. If you want to check out my other reactions, you can check them out over here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.